Okay, so it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm pretty sure today's May 1st. And all of a sudden last night, I was like, oh my God, it's May, and we haven't even planted a garden yet. What the hell? So that's going to be my next focus, because however long I'm going to be here, we should grow some food. Jesus, stuff grows so crazy here. And last night, oh my God, it was the worst. I don't even remember what last night. So not the night that we just are finishing, but the one that I videoed yesterday. I don't remember any. I couldn't remember what I talked about by the time it went on, because I hadn't labeled it yet, because I have been putting no title, no hashtag. I even was trying to put it through private. So I have no idea. Every time it would start going and it would get to a certain number, it would just go back. And that went on for almost 24 hours. I could not believe it. Because it was, whatever time I finished, then I started downloading it right away. And it didn't go on till 12:30 at night last night. Anyway, so I wanted to go to bed. And so I went to bed. I thought I was tired. And I went in there and just was laying there and laying there and laying there. I was like, oh my God. And I had taken the tarps off of the tent because it's so hot in there. And then I made it listen, oh, it's so much light. I was like, oh, hell no. So that was, I was just laying in there. I couldn't go to sleep. I couldn't get comfortable. My mind, it was so fucking loud. And so, I kept getting up. And so I kept checking on my downloading, and it just kept going back. I was like, I cannot fucking believe this. Like, it is almost midnight. And so it wouldn't stop doing that. And I got so frustrated, I just, blew the YouTube one off of there, off of the iPhone thing. You just swipe it and make it go off. And so then I reopened it, and it went through real quick. So I'm going to try that. If it starts getting stagnated again, because I have no idea what the hell is going on. Because I was like, when I put it on private, it was going pretty fast. It was got up to 79%. And I thought, oh, see, those motherfuckers, they will keep knocking it back if it's public. But if it's private, then they'll put it through. And so, I don't know. You start thinking lots of things, because I start thinking, are they listening to my video? Is there some word I've said? Like, what the hell? Is it the satellites? I have no idea. Well, I don't know. It wasn't really clear, because they were spraying the fuck out of us yesterday. And then there was some clouds and shit. I can't even believe how much they're spraying. It's crazy. They just keep on and keep on. It doesn't slow down at all. And I should have fixed my hair before I started. Now it's gonna drive me crazy. Well, I don't know how much I could fix it. It just does whatever. So, anyways, so I kept getting up, and I couldn't sleep. And so I saw when it went on, because finally I just got up and I was just sitting here. And so I didn't go to bed till like 12:30 or maybe 1. And then I went to sleep real quick. God damn it. Something's tickling my face. And then I went to sleep real quick. And then got woke up, whatever, 4:30 or 5. So it's always the same. That doesn't change. That's why I go to bed early, because they still get up. So anyways, one of the times I got up and I went in to go pee, then I was sure there was a cricket sitting there. And it's just like sitting there. And so I ran over. I was like trying to think of anything to trap it, because it's so loud. Like, I don't know if you can hear it. Like, there's a fridge humming, but there is crickets humming. Crickets, whatever they make, this noise. They're all over the place. It's so loud. I feel like it's not as loud as like the down south when I was growing up in the locust. I liked that sound. I always liked it. I like to go outside and hear them. And I wouldn't mind going outside and hearing this, but it's inside here. And so then it's just like, ah. So anyways, I said this one sitting there, and I was like, oh, I gotta get it. And it's like, I don't know, 12, well, I don't even know what time it was. It must have been right when maybe I got up again to go. I don't fucking know. Everything just is like a dream. I'm just living in a dream. I'm like having, some of the times, like whatever my dreams are really just something playing out that is like, it's the weirdest shit. So the dog dishes were empty right there. So I just grabbed one of the little ones and I would go over there, and he's still just sitting there. It's so weird. And so I went over there and I put it over the top of him. And so then I was like, okay, I'll just get him when it's light out. And so he can just sit there for the next few hours until I get up. And so then I started, it was like Edgar Allan Poe or something. So I go lay down, and then I start feeling his distress. I swear to God, I could feel it coming through the floor. I could feel his distress. Then I started hearing him, and I thought, oh my God, he's playing a distress tune now. He's stressing the fuck out, and it was so loud. It was so Edgar Allan, I can't remember what it is. I think it's when the guy is, he's buried somebody in the floor. But there's also the cat one. But anyways, he's buried somebody in the floor, and he keeps hearing his heartbeat or something. It's so loud. It's so loud. I don't know if it's guilt or what it goes on. But, well, I think in that was guilt. But also there's supernatural shit. And so, and we are tuned into things different than what, they tell us. And so, stuff like that can happen. You can think, God, I'm a kook. Maybe we're all kooky. Who cares? So I'm laying there and I'm like, oh my God, it is so fucking loud. He's just stressed. Now he's signaling all the other ones. They're probably all going to gather around him. This poor guy, he's so stressed out. And I was feeling so bad. But then I was just like, okay, well, he's just going to have to deal with it because he'll be fine. And so I just went to sleep. And then when I got up and I got him and I took him out, and then they don't jump. They're like, nerd. They're like a Katy Perry situation where she's getting roasted. Oh my God. They're just, they just keep falling. And one of the things I was thinking about yesterday, and I don't remember specifically it was her. It seems like it was some other situation, somebody else. But like certain people, all these people flood to Hollywood. They all want to make it. They all want to be somebody. They all want to be seen, whatever their drive is. And they flood into Hollywood. And maybe it's because they think acting is the easiest job and you get paid the most. And that's their draw. But anyways, all these people have this thing that draws them in. And they all come with different, scales of talent. And it's written in the stars is the thing. It's like it's written in the stars. Like you are here for certain experiences. And so some people, they just take off. They just blow up. And it's organic. It's because we, the people, like them. We're drawn to them. We like what they're doing, whatever it is. So we're drawn to them. And that energy goes. But the thing is about Hollywood is, I think it was when I was seeing Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds on a thing. And I was like, they take some people and whatever it is that they're willing to sell or whatever, and then they push them on us. So they push them on us. They put them in every movie. They put them in blockbusters. They just push them on them, push them on us. And then they try and build up like they're more talented than anybody else because they're giving them these parts. You could probably go get any Joe Blow to go do that part. So but they make like these people are idols. Like we need to worship them. So there's like two different things going. Some of these people that have made it have really just been pushed on us. And it's not that they're more talented than somebody else. It's just that they were sold out or willing to take it up the I'm not sure what all their deal is. And it's weird now how Candace, because I kept seeing all these people. Candace is gone against Donald. We'll never, yeah, block her. She's crazy and stuff. And I don't know. I think it's something bigger going on. I don't think that, because now she's saying Harvey's no, he didn't do anything. Well, sure is a lot of people who said he did. I mean, there's a lot. And she's saying, no, he's not. So I don't know you got to go tune into her new podcast. But she's going against Donald on a bunch of stuff. And I was thinking, I swear to God, it's about the drama. The awakening stuff, like all those dramas, is to bring our attention on things. Is to get us to pay closer attention, because everybody's so busy, and especially when everybody's really wrapped up in their own stuff. And so along this way, because this is one thing too, the people who are involved in this, the people like Donald, a lot of people, like the people on his team or administrator, the people that are going in this wave, they know the impact. It's like you can't go against what is happening. You can't fight what is happening. And if they were to try and keep us asleep or try and just misdirect us and stuff, that'd be some fucking shit ass karma. So they, it's like they know their responsibility. And this is kind of what the spiritual awakening thing is all about, is, understanding the impact of you in the world. And so, that's a part of the consequences, the karma. Like you can't do something and somebody else can't fix it for you. You're the only one. And in soul world, you would feel that is a part of your stuff. So it's part of your lessons. Get out of my fucking lane. Go in your own. You want to go make your own karma, whatever. And then there's, supposedly this whole fear about karma. But there is, it's kind of like a mastering the game or something. I think when you cannot get caught up in these energetic entanglements with people, because it's these past life souls that you interact with. And so getting caught up in these interactions and creating these out of balance karmic things, which I swear to God, there is a lot of people out here who have been misdirecting people and have big followings and stuff and have misdirected them. That to me is like, I don't know, they're all on that journey together, but there is a karmic thing when you are misdirecting. That's why, like, there's no way they can't hold people back. But it seems to me that they try and do everything they can to get people to wake up. And at the same time, he's trying to take us towards our own freedom or sovereignty in our reality, in our existence, which right now the real is burning down, and just suddenly started on fire, I guess, last night, and it's just burning real quick. And they're asking for help. I guess they ask, is it Cyprus or something in Greece, if somebody would come and help, and everybody's giving them the big F you, no thank you. So nobody's coming to the rescue, but that is a part of the destiny, because it's a corrupted place. It's not good energy. It holds a lot of corruption. It's a mask. It's a place where people can hide, and it gives the illusion of something that's not. And so that is going to fall apart, because all the things that are not an energetic match to higher vibration living are going to fall apart. And we're going to be witnessing it. We're going to be seeing it. And people, are going to be losing their jobs and stuff and not realize, like, oh my God, I was working at such a low vibration place. But it's all going to be part of, some people will have different kinds of realizations and stuff as it goes, but it's all going to be part of their learning. Whatever happens in your thing is about your learning. What was it yesterday? There was something. I don't remember what it was. But there was something, and I was like, nothing can happen to you that is not meant to happen to you. I just see it over and over and over and over. It is only the things that are meant to happen to you can happen to you. Nothing is by accident here. Everything is fated. Everything is destined. Everything is pre-planned. And you are a lot more stronger than you know. And so that is what the awakening is about, is so you can remember who and what you are, so you can level up into the next the next round or whatever. Because no matter what, it's still a game. It's still some kind of a challenge to come, I mean, especially you can see as people go. But that is another thing too, is that there is people playing roles. So, but you can still see that how much mind control, how much, because that to me is you're cut off from your inner dialogue, your inner voice, like you've shut it down. You're not listening to it. You've let it become a jumble in the rest of the noise that's all around you. And it takes more focus. It takes more trust in yourself. It takes more, well, you got to have discernment. One thing I was thinking about too was, because I, like my mom, for instance, she's always talking, she does the same stuff as me, is, ask, where something is, and she gets told, or, she communicates with this voice out there. And this is the thing, is like when the religion starts blowing up and people start seeing it crumble and stuff, there's people who have got relationships. That's what they need to focus on, your internal relationship with spirit, not their parameters of what they're telling you the spirit expects from you. Go into your heart, go in through you, and continue the relationship you've already got. Don't cut it off and be like, oh, it's all made up, it's not real. No, it's real, but it's not what they tell you. It's you. And that will kind of show people too, is how much that they were basing their faith on religion, and how much of it was based on their true connection to their spiritual side. And so that is going to be all different levels too. And so, but I did want to say that to people who are religious, and when it starts blowing up, just go internal, go inside of you, because you have a relationship. There's somebody out there you've been talking to and praying to and stuff. And so go in and start talking to them, and don't get caught up in the outer world. So it goes through you. Your connection is in here. It's like the telephone line goes directly inside here, and you got to communicate through. It's like it comes through, like, to me, it's like your soul is right in here. And so you feel things in here, but then it goes up in here so that it can be, it's like, it's got to get through all this noise. It's like what would that be? Like the wavelengths or something. And that is where, once it goes up in here and people start running their programs, and people are just running their programs all the time. And people are running multiple programs at a time. And so the programs, I think, are overriding their connection to themselves. And so they can't hear their inner voice talking to them in a lot of cases. And so they bypass it. And then they get so caught up in the world outside of them that the world inside of them has gone dark. And so but the inner world, so when it goes up in here, like, you can feel it. And so that's what you got to work on more, is going and trying to use your knowing in here and not in here. Because in here, you have a lot more going on, because that is where you got to start deciphering, even on the communication that you have, of what is the frequency, what is the energetic impact of what is coming. And so if it's something that's negative and hateful, even though they'll tell you every good reason why you should do it, when you are finding that that's what it's bringing up, well, you've got some that you need to purge out. But that's where you got to recognize that the darker energy is fucking with you. And so many people are figuring out this is a spiritual battle we're in. This is all this shit that they want us to focus on. That's just to tear us away from this reality so we can move into the next one. But this is a spiritual battle. Like I said, like fucking, I've got things following me around, hitting shit out of my hands, knocking me in the back of the head. I'm constantly getting tripped, getting things hitting me all the fucking time, all fucking day. It is, so yeah, they will fuck with you. And when people don't realize too, like, I don't know. I mean, there's probably people getting in car wrecks and shit that don't realize, like, this energy is fucking with you. And so, anyway, they can't, like, kill you, but they could coax you into taking yourself out. But don't forget, you can't go unless that's your time to go. But if you put it to the test, then you can have lessons. And so, you can disfigure yourself. You can have all sorts of issues, which I saw a girl, and I've talked about this for so long, like, but with a mom, and so she wanted to talk about there's big conversations going right now about, the thing that when on our licenses, how they made it like, oh, you're such a good person, you're going to be a donor, God, you're just the greatest person. So we're all like, yeah, I'm a donor. Yeah, if I die, they're going to take my parts. Yeah, I'm here for everybody else. Yeah, I'm a donor. And so everybody was like patting themselves on the back. Oh, yeah, we're the best people in the world. And then, so they pushed this thought pattern on us, and then we used our ego kind of to feed it into making ourselves feel good about ourselves. And so, but it was corrupted, and when you start getting, because to me it's kind of crazy how the traffic is just always with people to the traffic. It's like it's so much worse. So much worse than traffic. Hey, I just think of it as a human trade market, because it's so diverse too. You can sex slave, you can eat them, like it's crazy out there. But there's certain people who want all these parts, and then apparently they've even got farms where they just, have these kids and stuff, feeding them this certain diet so these people can just pop off. Oh, well, we need another liver. It's like, what are you doing to yours over there? And it probably is because there's some kind of alien species is all I could, they're not from this place. And so their parts wear out more or something because they're not energetically attached in the same way the earthlings are if they are colonizers from other places. And there's definitely groups out there from in other countries where it's like, those people are colonizers from another space and time, and they came as settlers at some point. And so anyways, but that tells me too, like when a group of people is constantly needing new parts, like there's something weird going on. So but that even gets darker because then the debris, what the leftovers, goes into our food supply. That's man, it's so good. I swear to God, my mom eats meat all the time. And every time I see it, it's just like, and I cook it for the dogs too. And I just am like, man, not like it's better that it's cows and pigs and shit. Because I just am like, I can't even stand the whole thing. I wish the dogs didn't need to eat meat. But then if you're not meeting their needs, then you feel like you're not doing. Hopefully they come up with new food things like that are. I don't know. I don't even know. Like I probably try more and more. I took them off meat for a long while, but then I put them back on it again. Because then it was like, man, maybe they're not getting any nutrition or whatever. And Stella's always motherfucking hungry. I swear to God, I cannot believe. Like last night, not this night, but the one before, the one that took 24 hours to download almost. We were up at 1:30 in the morning. I do remember that. That might have been when I recorded. I was, because she wanted to eat. She's starving in the middle of the night. So I was up and I recorded, and then I thought, oh, well, now I'll just go back to bed and I'll probably download while I'm sleeping. I hope I got up and it was started over. So I was watching started over, I just kept doing it. So anyways, now my new plan is going to be to try and flip it off and see if it comes back on, if it doesn't catch itself back up. I don't know. So much fucking shenanigans. And that can be, I don't know, it can be on one level the energy trying to frustrate me so that I will stop, because it does get frustrating. It does be like, what the fuck, man? And then, you know, you can't mess with your phone or anything all day long. It's fucking downloading. And so it can be frustrating, and it can make you feel like, what the hell am I even doing? Like, what the hell am I doing? You know? But I do see the point and the purpose behind what I'm doing, even if it seems kooky, and in the three-dimensional world, it makes no sense whatsoever. Because I know, like, if anybody in my family were to even look at the thing, then they'd be like, you know, she just keeps going for years and years. You know, she's only got a few people listening to her, but she just keeps going. But it's like, but nobody sees what I see is what's happening. And so, you know, I don't know, more and more people are going to keep waking up, and at some point they're going to want to hear how, you know, what to focus on and how to heal themselves. And there's tons of people out there now who are talking about, you know, stuff that they've done to heal themselves, because that's the movement we're going towards. I saw one girl, and she totally did look pregnant. And so she's standing there in just like a little sports bra thing and workout pants, and she was showing her stomach, and it's a disorder. I can't remember what it's called. But so anyways, she was telling about her story, though, because this disorder has made her so insecure, and so she won't go do things. She stays out of conversations, like all this stuff, because she's had so many awkward conversations. Oh, what do you do? And but see, the thing is too, is that triggers an insecurity, but it also, when you get comfortable in yourself, that triggers an opportunity of education for somebody, for to be able to say, oh yeah, I'm not pregnant, crazy, huh? No, I've got blah 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 blah, which is blah 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 blah, because a lot of people are really into it, like, wow, I didn't know that that was even a thing. And a lot of people are like, appreciate being educated on it. But people who have these things, they feel shame, and they feel like something's wrong with them. They messed up. God doesn't like them as much as everybody else. Like, all sorts of things fuck with people's heads. And so then they become insecure. And just like she said, she would like not go to parties. She wouldn't go out with her friends. She had like everything she could do to hide this. And she would wear clothes to try and hide it and stuff. And she said it just made her so insecure, and she kept breaking down like while she was telling it. And but now she wants to be comfortable with herself. She wants to quit being miserable, quit pretending, and you know, and talk about her insecurity. And you know, and we all have them. We all have insecurities. And so it's you know, people even think, like, they see some beautiful woman across the thing and they think, oh, she's got no insecurities. They have insecurities. Like, fucking look at, like, Olivia Wilde. Like, why the hell would you be going, all these women, like, you got all these beautiful women who are going and getting surgeries on their face, going out and revealing all their body for attention and stuff. So yeah, they've got insecurities. Don't kid yourself. Everybody has got them, and everybody can tell you what's wrong with them. And so and some people, you know, when they have some kind of disorder where it sets them apart from people, and that, you know, they go out and it's like, fuck, I never see anybody else with this problem. You know, a lot of these things are rare. 1 in 1,000 people, 1 in 10,000 people, 1 in a million people. And so anyways, but the more you get comfortable, like that other girl too, that hedgehog looking girl, whatever she had, and she was so confident, and such a cute, her personality, she just is, you know, really special. She had special parents, and you know, she learned to be confident, and how much you can educate people on things when you do have that confidence and stuff. But you know, most people turn it in on themselves. and they don't have confidence. And so anyways, this woman was talking about that and healing that part and claiming yourself and, you know, liking yourself. This whole thing, what I keep on talking about all the time is learning how to love yourself. That's what this is all about. And I saw another one. I think there's gonna be a whole lot of this kind of trend, but there's another one of a girl talking about her sexual abuse and when it started, and it was her mom and her sister. Like, I don't know, it was a long thing. I didn't go listen. It was very deep, and like lots of people have a lot of deep things. Which with this one lady I just saw. This is the thing. Is like, which I feel like some of us in our souls, we know not to. We know the dark side of like magic, which I don't know. There's lots of people here who just keep wanting to dabble in it and dabble in it. It's like like you're messing with the universe, then you're messing with the plan. You're messing with what's going when you're trying to control it. And so that also should show you yourself that you're not in tune with the universe, because you're not in tune with trust and your communication, all that stuff. And so when you're trying to control it and it's not doing a good enough job, and you know that that's the guy for you and that's the job for you, all that kind of stuff. And so you start doing it. And then you got girls, you know, selling spells and doing spells for people, all this shit. And that shit works, but it's not going to work the way people want it to work. So this lady, so she said she doesn't mess with magic at all. Spells or any of that shit. Because when she was a kid, her grandma did spells all the time. And so when they were teenage girls and they had, you know, these boys that they liked and stuff, so grandma said, write their name down on a pillow and sleep on it, and they'll call you in the morning. And so every time they do it, that would happen. And so she ended up, you know, later on, and they didn't think that much about it. You know, they wanted a guy to call them. They'd just write their name down, put it under a pillow, and then they would call. And so then she, was just sitting there thinking, I wonder if that'll work. But you don't want to mess with the shit. So then you want to put a spell on somebody. So then I was just hearing another thing. So anyways, so then she, later on, so she has these twins, and the dad of the baby, she really likes him, but he's just, you know, he's a feral cat out there, tomcat around. And so she is all tore up about it. So she tells grandma, and she said she just wants him to stay with her. And he doesn't live with her or anything. So grandma says, write his name on a piece of paper, get a jar, put water in it, put his name in it, close the jar, and then hide it in the house somewhere. And he will not be able to leave the house. And she said, so she did it. Then within, I don't remember if it was within hours or by the next day. It was quick. She said it was real quick. And all of a sudden he got arrested and he got house arrest. And so he came to stay with her. And so he was bound to her house, just like grandma had said. So he's bound to their house. He can't leave. And they're doing great. She said they were having such a good time. They were madly in love with each other. She said it was the best time. And then, so she leaves with one of her friends to go to the store. And he can't go anywhere. So she goes to the store and she comes back. And he's sitting there with the jar on the table. And he's just sitting there staring at her. And she starts trying to scramble, like, you know, and he's like, what's my name in this jar? And she's like, you know, blah, 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 blah. And he said, get my name out of this jar. And she's like, well, you can just take it out. And he's like, I'm not touching this jar. You got my name out of this jar. And so she did. And immediately he was off house arrest. Something happened. He was immediately off house arrest. And then she said that they were fighting, like their whole relationship just blew up. And she said that as soon as he got off, he was right back out. He said it. She said the cheating was 10 times worse than it was. They fought every time they saw each other. They couldn't get along. So the energy, see, when you're trying to pull it in a direction it's not meant to go, it snaps back. And it snaps back in a negative way. And I think they show that a lot, like in the genie movies, like Make Your Wish. But then there's always this side that you didn't see coming. And so that's basically what it is. And so you mess with somebody. And then also, if you put spells on people to get them to like you, then, and if they find out, then it starts being like, then they start like, do I even like you? Like, it makes them quite, like, you, it doesn't go in the direction that you want. And like I had said before, like, you do some of these spells do, then you can have the person be obsessed with you, but then it's always going to turn south. It's not going to be the thing that you think. It's going to be a lesson. And the lessons are all spiritual lessons. And so you got to look at them deeper. But yeah, it's not going to go the way you want, because the universe has a plan. We've stepped into the ride, and the ride goes, and then you start trying to control the ride. and the challenge is getting comfortable on the ride, allowing the ride to take you on this tour of this life, of this experience. And so the more that you just get on with the tour, which it makes no sense to everybody around you, like, you know, you don't have a plan. You don't have a plan. Well, I'm manifesting. Like, I'm looking at this mansion over here. I got my eye on this mansion. Well, how are you planning on doing that? It's almost $2 million. I don't know. The universe doesn't. I'm just got my eye on this. I got this plan. I've got this going. And it's like, yeah, but what are you really doing? And people don't. It doesn't make sense to people. Well, it makes sense to people who do it. I'm not the only person who does it. There's other people who do it, but we are, like, I think, more far and in between. And so we're like oddballs, but I also think it's kind of so people can start seeing, like, the people around you, like, everything's a grid system. And that's the micro macro, because there's other people who are saying, now, I saw this girl and she was showing all the different movies that show, like, the honeycomb of this world. And then she started looking it up, biblical stuff or whatever, and what it was saying. She was showing all this stuff. And, but it is like that. But it's like the micro macro too. And so that grid system, it is like, you have your own grid system. It's all an expression of everything. It's like it starts here, but it expresses out in all these different ways. And so everything is an expression of what is there too. So it's like an expansion. Like, if that makes sense, I can see it, but I don't know. I've explained it in other ways before. But anyways, let me think. I feel like I was like speeding on. Manifesting makes no sense when, you know, you're living in somebody's garage. You don't really have a plan other than, well, you know, got my eye on this mansion, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. And then I hear all these other people, you know, oh, I need this and I need that. So it's like, okay, well, I want to get them that. Like my daughter, she wants to, when she lost her job, well, it became, I talked about before, it became like this boundary, kind of. Like, what am I willing to submit to? And you know, if you talk to me, I mean, what things I'm going to say do. Anyway, she went in the direction of, like, I'm not going back there. I'm not going to deal with that. And I didn't even know that she had started this whole thing where she started making, first she was making this candy, this frozen fruit candy. Now she's making cookies, and they're being sold in a store. And so she's getting really into it now. She's like, and now she's looking at, like, these little trucks, like, if you go buy a food truck that's already set, it's super expensive. So she's looking at, like, old campers and stuff and making her own, and she's got all these ideas and stuff. It's like, oh, I want to buy her a camper. so she can do her whole thing, you know, make it what she wants. She even wants to have the little table in there so people can come in and sit and stuff. And she's wanted to do this for a long time. It's exciting to see people following their dreams and watch their dreams start to bloom. And then here with my mom, like there's a bunch of stuff. She has a broken hot tub. I want to get her a hot tub. I want to put a deck around her little pool thing. I want to, you know, these little things that you want to do for people. and I know things are going to be changing with the money, and things are going to be going in a new direction. And I know, you know, it wouldn't be like, well, I'll go run and take all my silver and change it in, because that's going to be going way up. I don't know. You just got to see how things play out. And I think there's going to be some magic that's going to start happening, because there's a whole bunch of us who are doing that. We're putting it on the universe of like, show us what you got. And we're sitting back and letting it happen. And so we'll see. You know, I'm excited to see what's to come, but I don't know. Like, I have bits and pieces, you know, things that I've seen, but I don't know how things are going to play out. It's like with all of this stuff, like I could look ahead and I could see what was coming, but I didn't know each little thing, how it was going to play out. And always when you're in it as it's playing out, it's always way more impactful. So much stuff. It's like, whoa, man, it's way more intense than just looking at it, to be in the experience. And part of the intensity is just all these different people's emotions, all the different people's ignorance. Like, oh my God, when it comes to spiritual world and stuff, people are not just ignorant to it, they're scared of it. They're literally scared of everything. And fear is no way to live. And there's nothing to be fearful of. Like, you are a significant being in the universe. Like, you have your role, you have your place. There's nothing for you to fear. And it's just weird how those people are just so caught up in this world. It just trips me out. But when things change, it's going to go in another direction. And who knows what it is going to be, how it's going to play out. I'm constantly hearing like explosions. Like the other day, I heard this pop, 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 pop. I was like, what in the hell? It sounds like somebody's unloading a weapon. And then not this night, but last night, I was laying there, and all of a sudden I heard pop, pop, pop. I was like, what? I sat up, and Max heard it too, because he jumped up and barked, and I sat up, and I was like, oh, shit. Is there somebody out there? Like, what's going on? And then, but there keeps being lots of noise, especially in the daytime. There's lots of like pounding and stuff, and I think the way the sound is carrying, and then the sky is weird, but and the energy is weird, and lots of people are having this just like so dead ass tired. My mom keeps having it. She's like, I feel like I'm drugged or something. The headaches, all of this, but a lot of people don't know where it's coming from. They're just like, man, I just don't feel good, man. What the fuck? I'm so tired. And why do I keep feeling so emotional? Why do I, you know, all these kinds of things. But it'll catch up with them. It's like that they've got a gap between the 3D and the supernatural, because it's not as prominent. And so it's the shift is to go to the vagueness, not what they're trying to get you to hook onto. And so anyways, but the people are all like freaked out by things that they can't see, or things that they've been told aren't real and stuff, which I could never understand, like how people could think things weren't real. I always thought that was so weird. Like, how can you not think this stuff is real? Like, where do you think it came from? You think somebody just sat here and made this shit up? Like elves and dwarves and unicorns and Pegasus and all this shit. Oh yeah, and they still have one of those motherfucking orcas over there, just trapped in a pool, just sitting there crying by itself. I swear to God, humans, I don't even know. There's like a part, okay, This is like a part of humanity. Is this girl? She was like really irritated by this whole thing. So she's an American who moved to England. I did the same thing before when I was super young. When I was there, yeah, you get a different taste of their attitude towards us. And then you start seeing it as like, oh my God, it is. It is. So, so anyways, she's at a place, and these two tourist people, two Americans come in, because you can tell by how they talk. And they go up to the woman at the counter, and they say, the man says, "Hola, senorita," or he says another thing from another country. I can't remember what it was. It's like another language. Another Latin language too, I think. It was like another thing. And so, he goes, or whatever it is you say here. She said, well, we say good morning. and so then he said another thing like, gracias, senorita, or something like that. I was like, what in the hell? And so the girl was just like, oh my God, people are so embarrassing. Do you really not know, like, how to talk to people? Like, Americans are so embarrassing when they travel. And there's so many different things. Like, there's people who go into restaurants, they want the same kind of treatment they get over in America or something. It's totally different. You're going into a different culture. You're going into a lot of places are a lot more chill. They're not running to your table, or like, as they think in their culture, people want to sit there. They want dinner to last, a long time. They want to sit there and relax, and they're not rushing you. And over here, it's like, oh, I want this and get it that and do this and do that. Like, it's just totally different. And but the people go, and it's like, I don't know, like they don't want to learn, or I don't know. When you go to different places, you get to experience different cultures. You get to talk to different people. You get to find out about, how they live and what they do and how they think and stuff. And then to go in and just be talking like, it's like kind of downgrading. It's kind of stupid and silly. And maybe, he's just a funny guy and he's just always trying to be funny or something. But, some of the things just aren't funny to other people. Like when you go up and you start talking a different language to them, and they also speak English. They are English language, I'm pretty sure, comes from them. But we have American, but it's like the same. And I think it's because there's definitely, to me, England, America, and Australia are very much under the guise of the elitist. And I think also there's other places like Switzerland, I think, it's got a lot of stuff. I think if you go to a lot of these places, probably Denmark, Norway, in different places, you're going to find these groups there. But I don't know, some of these places, they still aren't getting poisoned all the time. Like, there's certain places that we're very taken over. And I definitely think England, Australia, and America, and it was all very tight still under the crown. Like, us to not be under that, the church and the crown thing, is an illusion. Like, we were an extension of that. Like, we never win the war against them, and we didn't have to stop paying taxes and stuff. We got our taxes boosted up. That's one thing, is why Donald's going in and he's taking that away. I even heard now, if you have 3 kids, they're going to be giving, you don't have to pay taxes anymore for life, because they want people to build up families. And he is talking about giving $25,000 extra money or something. Like, I don't know. This whole thing is being talked about, because right now he's trying to do this big money thing on taxes and stuff. And this is where, they're going to send us out stimulus checks or whatever. So there's a bunch of stuff going on right now. And yesterday it was live with his big cabinet meeting. I didn't see it. I saw it on, but I wasn't listening to it. But I did listen to his rally the day before. So, but he's out there all the time because he's trying to be as transparent as possible. And he still has so much resistance by these people. But it's like the people get stuck looking at something and they don't see what's really there. They only see what they're being told or something. And so he keeps trying to be super transparent so people can see, but a lot of people don't want to listen. But that's also going to be their own, like their own problem, because then it'll be like, well, he was talking about this the whole time, and well, I can't stand to listen to him. Well, there you go. There you go. Go and look at why you can't stand this, why you can't stand that. It kind of trips me out how people can hate somebody they've never met. And I mean, I didn't like them. I would never say I hated anybody, but you hear it all the time. People hate people, and they hate them, and they hate people that they've never met. And they've got so much division going right now. You got lots of people hating people just because of who they want to vote for and stuff, what they believe. There's so much hatred over belief systems and stuff. And that is the part, where we have to put down our swords and our, we got to put down our weapons and come together and stop arguing about like what we believe. What we believe is what we are in alignment with, to our understanding. And so we shouldn't be challenging all these people. We should be sharing information, and information spreads through the ripple, and information comes to you. You can be resistant to information, or you can open your mind to it and hear more, just like that guy when he's like, whatever it was, he was saying hola, senorita, or whatever, and she said good morning. We say good morning, and he didn't say, "Oh, yeah, I just got back from Mexico. I'm just still stuck on there," or anything. He just continues the bit, and so, which is kind of like disrespectful, It's kind of like so. Anyways, it is when you just kind of ignore what's right in front of you, and you just, you're caught up in what you think or what you want or whatever. You don't care what other people think. But that is, the more that we can put those things aside and quit, like, why do we care? Why do we care if this person believes this or that person believes that? I know it's hard, like when you're in your family, because we all start arguing with each other. But why? Why do we argue over what we believe? And I know also, I know the frustration of, having people in your family who keep choosing the medical system over natural, and it's definitely going in the direction of natural. The medical system is going to go. It's falling apart. Like, hospitals are closing, people are losing their jobs. There's going to be people being arrested, CEOs, administrators, doctors. There's going to be a lot of doctors who have even done these mutilations on kids, this whole agenda. There's people who are going to be getting in trouble for that. There's going to be a lot. Like, we're just getting started. We haven't even gotten in full disclosure. We're still in the part where they're play acting, and you got kooky people like me out here saying all this conspiracy. And so we're still in that part, we haven't even moved into where it's just, some things start getting talked about in the news, but still, there's more people now. More people, it's just coming into their sight over Uma and Hillary's little, dance party, that horrible, horrible thing that, it's a frazzle. Yeah, that little thing. Yeah, there's people, like, it was when I'm assuming you guys, because I've talked about it before, but when we heard about that, that's kind of shit, like, I couldn't sleep. Oh my God, it was so horrible. And, feeling all the pain, like, how can we stop this? What can we do? And you start trying to tell people and they're all just like, shut up, crazy. People aren't eating people. People aren't doing that. People aren't hurting, get along. And then it just slowly keeps rippling out. There's people going missing. Nashville, these men are still going missing all over the place. And Garen motherfucking T it is this organ thing. My mom showed me an article yesterday that she ran across. And she's always like, I don't want to hear anything sad, but and she showed me one. And she's like, look at this beautiful girl. She just got found killed and her organs are missing. I was like, I'm fucking telling everybody for how fucking long. That's what the whole fucking thing in this world. That's this human child thing is so huge. And she's like, well, it's in Russia. And I said, yeah, it's all over the place. It's everywhere. There's these guys in Nashville going missing. There's serial killer like in every city right now. And Garen motherfucking T there is all these people are missing organs. That was the story I started to tell earlier about this mom. And so she, on the organ thing where I started a little while ago, we'll wrap it up over here on this story where it goes, we're going full circle here. So she, so her daughter got in the temple, and so she was out for a couple weeks where they, she's on machines and stuff like that, and I think she was 16 or something, and so she's on machines and stuff, and then the dad and his family, I don't know, this seems so weird, but the dad decides that they're pulling the plug. It's just like, we're pulling the plug, we're giving the organs up, you know, but it's just the right thing to do. And so the mom gets there, because her and the other daughter rush down to see the girl. And she's still got the ventilator in, but she's naked, and she's laying on just a table. They've moved her into another room now, and she is just laying on this table, naked with a sheet over her. And if you move the sheet, she said you could see all the lines they've drawn on her of what they're taking. Like, we're fucking, oh, goddamn meat department. Like, it's, oh, God. Oh, God. So she, so her daughter's laying there, and her and her sister, they're talking to her and telling her they love her and stuff like that. And she just keeps laying there and laying there. And so the mom, she's just feeling weird about it. She's just feeling weird. So she goes down. Her daughter hated getting her feet touched or tickled. Couldn't stand it. So she goes down to the end of the bed, and she says, I'm going to tickle your feet if you don't wake up right now. Whatever her daughter's name, Betty or whatever. I'm going to tickle your feet right now if you don't wake right up. And so she takes her fingernails and she rubs them up the bottom of her foot. And when she did, her daughter woke up. And as soon as she woke up, and she started trying to pull the ventilator. So the mom goes running out in the hall. She's awake, she's awake, she's screaming. And they're like, no, she's not, no, she's not. They wouldn't even do shit. So she runs back in the room, and the daughter's going wild trying to pull this thing out of her mouth. So the mom goes fucking apeshit. She goes out in the hall. She starts screaming at them all, cussing at them. She said she was fucking making a ruckus. And she said she's in there pulling out the ventilator. She is alive. And so the nurses run in there, and they start screaming, and the doctors run in. So they all run in and start screaming, and then end up putting her back into her room and stuff. And so, but that is already, that one guy said, you know, they've made up this brain dead thing is a diagnosis so that they can just get parts. Like, this is so fucking nefarious, this part fucking shit. It's the weirdest shit. And I was thinking about something else while I was saying that. I don't know if I can remember what it was. But we can look at my hair while we're sitting here. See if I can remember. I swear, sometimes I feel like, is this ever going to change? Am I just going to have these white stripes here? Well, I don't know if they're totally white. I mean, I feel like they're getting more white being out in the sun. But my mom said they look like blonde. They don't look like white. And before, I kept thinking they look way darker in the mirror than they do on here. But right now, I feel like they do look very light. But I was like, maybe they're just going to be there forever. Maybe that's it. And I started seeing myself as like, like those fish or something. And they can look one way, and then all of a sudden they open up, and then they've got this whole other thing, or birds or whatever. And so I was like, maybe it's that. And maybe all these little, because they sit there and say, liver spots or whatever. And, like, we should be not wanting these. It's like, I don't know. If there's sunspots, maybe he's reminding me about, maybe I was a spotted person before, and it's in my DNA. So maybe I need to be back in touch with my spots. Don't tell me, no, I can't have my spots. Don't tell me they're bad. I like my spots. So anyways, we all have our own unique things. That's what the other thing was, that I saw this nurse talking about names, and her name happened to be Kelly. And she said, so she had teenagers as her patients. I don't know where she works or whatever. So she went in there and she was talking to them, and they were making fun of her. It sounds like she worked in psych or something, but she was, because of all the interaction. And so when they were making fun of her name, and telling her she had an old lady name, which is so funny. So she went through, so she said, well, what are the old lady names then? And to teenagers. And so they went through all the names that we would think of are not old lady names. Amy, Angie, Jessica, every name of all your friends. Those are old lady names. And so she said, well, what are the young names then? What are the young girl names? And they start naming off Emma, Olive, Eunice, like all these really old lady, to all of us, the real old lady names. Because then we were going back around. There was all these girls that started having kids that started being like, I don't want to just name her Megan or Taylor, because those are old lady names now. That I want to name her my grandma's name. I want to name her an old lady name. I want an old name. So Gracie, I have a Gracie granddaughter. Even Jordan, that's an old lady name. But all the new names, those are the young girl names. And the Kelly who was telling the story was cracking up, because she's like, those are the old lady names. Their names are the old lady names, and they think we're the old lady names. It's just so funny. I also saw, it's kind of weird, because I had seen this one thing where this person said, you reach a certain age and you become delusional. You keep thinking you look younger than everybody else your age, which, I can relate. And then, but there's all these people who are Gen X people, and they're always saying they look so much younger than everybody else. And I don't know if it was like, if that's true, then I would say it has to do with, like how much nutrition they were actually getting in their food at some point. Because after, I was even telling my mom the other day, I said, when we were talking about, like, I don't know, the government fucking us over and what they've done to people with the nutrition and stuff like that. And I said, yeah, well, at least you got to grow up on real food. Remember what happened when I was a kid? They introduced the astronaut food. Like, they started telling us Tang was better. And we're all growing up on all this artificial shit. So they were introducing it then. And then it went to, rice-a-roni, shake and bake. Then it was like, I mean, at this point, it's just whole meals. People are just pouring homemade meals out and heating them up. People don't know how to cook anymore. They don't know how, and then it's all this artificial food, because it's all made by somebody else. And we think like it's real food, but I think, whatever. I don't know if it's grown in a computer, or if it's just shitty food, or what it is. I don't know. But it's not the same as, like, if you go out and, pick some carrots. Those carrots are not going to be the same carrots that are in your stir fry that you bought in the frozen bag, even though we want to think it is. Because I bought those things too when I was busy and I was a nurse. I was buying those dinners. I was like, oh, this is convenient. But then, so there's lots of people who were just raised on that shit. And it could be the lack of nutrition of why it is they look older and why some of the people look younger is because they actually were still eating food that had nutrition in it. And for so long, there's been no nutrition in the food. And then on top of it, this constant poisoning us. And so that could be a big reason why there is a thing. But all it takes is, anybody who thinks they're like aging too fast or something, it's just your body showing you like you need more nutrition. You got to take better care of yourself. And it's so weird how much your body is trying to tell you these kinds of things, but how people look the other way. And it was like, oh, their body's, fucking up. I can't drink all night like I used to. It's like, well, probably because you shouldn't be. You've probably fucked your liver up and you need to take better care of yourself. There's so much that people don't want to acknowledge that has to do with their lifestyle. And my mom is having the same experience of talking to people and just this total submission. She's totally getting this total submission on your health. Like, well, that's what I got. Well, the doctor says, well, that's what I gotta do. Well, that's what. It's like, your hands aren't tied. There's other things to do. And there's all sorts of sicknesses. Oh my gosh, she's itching her. She keeps itching this one ear. She's itching it so hard too. Which always makes me worried. Like I worry about it all the time. Cancer. But there's all sorts of people out there who are healing themselves from these things and doing testimonials, telling people, Jesus. Now she's grinding her teeth too. She's really getting in there. I'm gonna have to clean my ears. I'll clean your ears just a minute. And also like the communication with the dogs and stuff is it's like a whole nother level at this point. And I don't remember if I told you that the cat that we found out there is now living in the house. She is she's kind of a little bitch, man. Like, you go up and you start talking to her, she'll start batting you in. At first, when she would go past any of the other cats, she would hiss and growl the whole way, like, don't you fuck with me. So, I don't know, hopefully she's going to get more comfortable. But she's got attitude. She is like, the weirdest thing. She just takes her in, she just starts hitting you. And then my mom was patting her and stuff, and then she's taking it, and then all of a sudden she was sick of it. She just starts hitting her and hissing at her. It's like, oh my God, she's crazy. And then I don't want to get bit by her or anything. I mean, I don't know her history. I don't know what she's been doing out there living in the streets. But she is gaining weight. She's eating like a can of food in the morning and a can of food at night. And she's all uppity now. It's like, I'm not having any dry. I'll just have the canned, please. She looks at the dry now and snubs it. And then any other cat that comes up next to her starts hissing at him and stuff. And my mom's like, I don't know. I think she's maybe going to be ruling the roost down there. Because the other cats are all just like really pretty passive on each other. They don't mess with each other. They just go about their business. They just lay around all day. So anyways, we'll see. Hopefully she'll get more comfortable. And she's just coming off strong. Like, don't fuck with me. So, I don't know. But was there other things I was going to say? I can't remember. This is probably plenty of talk. So, oh yeah, I want to look at my tooth. I was looking at it in the mirror and I was like, oh yeah, it's definitely getting to the lighter part where it seems like the gray, when it gets all gray looking, it is still growing too. But when it gets to the part where it looks lighter, it seems like it really starts building up. So I always like that part. And then it goes into the dark to fill in the dark, or fill in the deepest parts, and then it just keeps going and going. Like, and let's see, was there anything else I was gonna say? My eyes keep getting better. Everything else will just keep getting better. When you focus on your health and you listen to the signs of what your body's trying to tell you, and you stop thinking that it's failing you, and you start seeing you're failing it, and you need to take better care of yourself, then things will change. And Stella is not having any more of this. She's ready to do whatever it is we're going to do. So, anyways, excuse me, lady. Just remember, okay, I'm finishing. Just remember that uh, I think that the important thing to be worried about here is learning how to love yourself, learn how to love everybody else, and how to have the day that you want. Because you can have the day you want. You want to have a good day, just focus on the things that make you happy. So anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye.